Okay. Okay, I think we're up now. Uh Sorry, it was taking forever to connect. Took like over a minute. Okay, hi everybody. I'm Conquering History Games and welcome to the first of what will be a live stream series of the game We the Revolution. Uh Now, first thing I want to say is that this game was provided to me for free. Thank you very much to the company for doing that. So I've had this game for a little bit, and I've been thinking about when to pull it up. But the first thing I want to say, though, is please, please, please let me know the instant that the music is too loud. I can definitely change it. So we're going to be... Oh my god, it is like so fucking loud in my ears right now. Excuse me. Just need to do something. Okay. Okay. So I'm feeling better now. So let's go ahead and jump into this game. And actually we can keep looking at this amazing visual here. But let's go ahead and create a new profile. There it is. We the Revolution. So the fundamental concept of this game is that we are going to be playing as a judge during the French Revolutionary period. Oh, I guess I see some people have already been talking about it in the chat. And we're going to have to make decisions that affect our personal lives as well as the ebb and flow of the revolution itself, depending on different decisions that we make. It can get quite complicated at times, but it also can get very interesting. So we're going to meet historical figures. We can influence things that happen to historical figures. We can do things that could maybe lead to them getting killed before or after when they were, historically. But first, I need somebody to tell me how the music volume is right now. Please. So, this is the time for me to change it. I gotta say, it's a little bit loud in my own ears. So I'm probably gonna put it quite a bit down, actually. Okay. It's a little quiet. Let me kind of... Oop. Not the best controls on this. Maybe right there. Okay. Right here, this seems good for me. At that level. So we'll probably do that. Okay. So I'm hearing that it's good. So before we get started and we really jump into the game, I wanted to give a little bit of, I don't know if historical context would be the right word, because I'm pretty sure that everybody here knows what the French Revolution is and kind of has at least some general ideas about it, that being, okay, there was a king, and then the revolution happened, and then a king got his head chopped off, and a bunch of other people got their head chopped off, and then the people who were getting their heads chopped off, they got their heads chopped off, and then Napoleon showed up, I guess, and then he got beaten, and then I don't know, then we moved on in world history class. So the French Revolution was an incredibly, I cannot emphasize this enough, complex event in the history of not just France, but the entire world. And it is so complicated, and it is so controversial and divisive that we are still arguing about it to this day. And there was actually a Chinese prime minister, who some of you may know, from those of you who were in my Mao's Legacy campaigns. But what I'm going to just do here is I'm going to go ahead and say that most of you watching this, even though I know that I kind of tend to have an audience that's more historically inclined, your idea of the French Revolution is pretty much, heads got chopped off, and then Robespierre got out of control, and then he got his head cut off, and then eventually Napoleon takes over. I know you're like a Chinese prime minister. This is the French prime minister. We're talking about the French Revolution. But what I'm going to start by doing here is I'm going to be reading a couple of paragraphs here from an essay called Robespierre or the Divine Violence of Terror. We're not going to talk directly about Robespierre just yet. But I think that these two paragraphs here do a very good job of explaining people's different points of view on the French Revolution depending on what their ideologies are. And, of course, I'm not going to say what I believe. I'm just going to be presenting a little bit more nuanced point of view and why you might have some people who defend Robespierre, who defend the violent parts of the revolution, people who, like, completely hate the revolution and things like that. So this is going to be very quickly. This is going to be very quick. All right, here we go. Starting the reading now. When, in 1953, Zhu Enlai, the Chinese Prime Minister, was in Geneva for the peace negotiations to end the Korean War, a French journalist asked him what he thought about the French Revolution. Zhu replied, "It's still too early to tell." In a way, he was right. With the disintegration of the people's democracies in the late 1990s, the struggle for the historical significance of the French Revolution flared up again. The liberal revisionists tried to impose the notion that the demise of communism in 1989 occurred at exactly the right moment. It marked the end of the era which began in 1789, the final failure of the statist revolutionary model which first entered the scene with the Jacobins. Nowhere is the dictum "every history is a history of the present" more true than in the case of the French Revolution. Its historiographical reception always closely mirrored the twists and turns of political struggles. The identifying mark... Now, this is where we're going to be getting into how different political ideologies view the French Revolution. The identifying mark of all kinds of conservatives is its flat rejection. The French Revolution was a catastrophe from its very beginning, the product of the godless modern mind. It is to be interpreted as God's punishment for humanity's wicked ways, so its traces should be undone as thoroughly as possible. The typical liberal attitude is a differentiated one. Its formula is 1789 without 1793. In short, what sensitive liberals want is a decaffeinated revolution, a revolution which doesn't smell of revolution. Francis Furet and others thus try to deprive the French Revolution of its status as the founding event of modern democracy, relegating it to a historical anomaly. There was a historical necessity to assert the modern principles of personal freedom and etc., but as the English example demonstrates, the same could have been much more effectively achieved in a more peaceful way. Now, radicals are, on the contrary, possessed by what Alain Badiou calls the passion of the real. If you say A, equality, human rights, freedoms, you should not shirk from its consequences, but muster the courage to say B, the terror needed to really defend and assert the A. So in more layman's terms, to kind of like simplify the language of those paragraphs, it's basically saying conservatives see the French Revolution as a violent mistake. It was horrible, and we need to hate everything about it. Liberals say, okay, the freedom, the liberté, égalité, fraternité stuff, that's cool. We like that. We don't like the guillotines. And then radicals say, hey, if you want liberty, democracy, and equality, you better chop off some heads to get it. So, there, in a less verbose way, that's what he's saying. But you have to remember that there were factions within the French Revolution. And again, I'm obviously oversimplifying this, guys, but it's like there was factions within the revolution. You had different forms of radicalism. People, when they think of radicalism within the French Revolution, they tend to think first and foremost of Robespierre, but you've also got people like Marat, who was killed, who was assassinated during the French Revolution, who thought that Robespierre was a big old bitch, who thought he was, you know, too soft, who thought that Robespierre was too interested in peace, and things like that. And so like we'll read some more stuff here, but I just wanted to kind of read a really crucial quote from Robespierre and why Robespierre felt that the so-called terror, and we're going to talk about what the terror means. I'm saying terror with a capital T. We're going to talk about what the terror is. Was the terror really a terror? Did it go too far? Did it not go far enough? Was you know, things like that. So this was a quote of from Robespierre. It's probably his most famous quote, where he is explaining why it's okay to be executing all these people via guillotine, right? And why it's necessary for the revolution. So here we go. Robespierre, quote, "If the mainspring of popular government in peacetime is virtue, the mainspring of popular government in revolution is both virtue and terror. Virtue without which terror is disastrous. Terror without which virtue is powerless. Terror is nothing but prompt, severe, inflexible justice. It is therefore an emanation of virtue. It is not so much a specific principle as a consequence of the general principle of democracy applied to our homeland's most pressing needs." And I think Socialist is, you know, he's got this same book that I'm kind of quoting from. It's a really good compilation of. I'm reading from a compilation of Robespierre's speeches and other stuff. So one more Robespierre quote. "The reason for the punishment is that we have to punish the oppressors of humanity. That is clemency. To forgive them is barbarity. The rigor of tyrants has that rigor as its sole principle. That of the Republican government is based on benefits." Oh wow, thank you very much. I do have a point of the Chinese Prime Minister's comment. France was in a lot of trouble in the 1950s and 60s and was on the verge of civil war. They were in the process of transforming to the Fourth, Fifth Republic. Oh yeah, and we could talk about the that as well. The French other revolutions, because kind of but thank you very much for the super chat. Greatly appreciated. I don't know why the alert hasn't gone off. That's a little weird. Okay, that's the widgets for you. So basically, Robespierre felt you had to have the violent revolution. You had to kill the enemies of the Republic. And there was a lot of people who were more extreme than he was. And so, you know, obviously, there's a lot of, there is lots of, I'm sure that I don't have to talk about, like, the things that were wrong and bad about the revolution, with the guillotine and the guillotining and things like that. But we're going to talk about the stats. We're going to talk about who was terrorizing who and revenge killings and all sorts of stuff. And the French revolutions that have happened since 1989. Maybe the French Revolution is still ongoing. We're going to argue about when it started and when it stopped. We're going to have a lot of fun doing that sort of stuff. But we're going to do it in a civil way. Or I'm going to start guillotining people in the chat. And by guillotining, I mean timing out and batting. But I think it's going to be a lot of fun. And at the end of the day, mechanically, this is a very interesting game. I've heard people compare it to Papers, Please, and I can kind of see that. But anyway, how about we actually play this game? You know, now that we're like 15 minutes in. So let's just go ahead and actually get started. Get a charger, Basky. All right. So We Are the Revolution. Let's start. And you know, once again, it was provided this game for free. Thank you very much. You're going to love this game, guys. I know it.
I am. here. Do you hear me? I gave you the best I could. Why did you disown me? I have your blood in my veins. How could you? Do I mean nothing to you? Why did you grieve for him? He was nothing. I am better than he was. People will follow in my footsteps. Father.
Okay, so also, as a heads up, why does it sound like he's talking to God? Maybe. Maybe. Who knows? But as a heads up, I'm basically going into this game blind. Only thing, I've only gone far enough in to make sure that it functions. Also, just to answer a question I've seen coming up in the chat about the monarchy, I will say I've been spoiled in that let's just say there's no guarantee the king gets his head chopped off, huh? But right now, it's tutorial time. Here we go. Raymond Devoyer. Remind me next time that I want to stop drinking this cloudy rot gut. Reminds me before I drink it. We're disgracing Themis. Is someone coming? Alright. This was bound to happen. Hold on a sec. Oh yeah, first playthrough, good luck. Yeah, thank you, thank you. So Themis, for those of you who don't know, I'm pretty sure that that's a reference to the ancient Greek goddess of the law. Usually not known as much, but she's the one who the scales of justice. That's Themis. Like, if you've ever seen that image of you know, justice, she's holding the scales in one hand and she has the swords in the other. That is Themis. Okay. So this was bound to happen. I told you. Papa, you said we would go. You promised. Papa had a lot of work. Yes, a lot of heavy glasses. Okay, hold on a sec. Hold on. Let me check some stuff here. Okay, yeah, so I've only got like so many buttons I can use right now because we're basically in tutorial mode. And if you're wondering where the music is, there's basically no music right now, so don't worry about that. Yeah, there isn't any music. Is she blindfolded because Justice is blind? She's sometimes shown blindfolded, sometimes she's not. Anyway. Actually, I totally forgot to say, or I don't know. You promised me I can't ask anymore. I'm fed up with asking. Mama is angry because... Quiet. Today, your favorite son wanted to prove he was more honorable than his father, so he started a fight. A 5-year-old boy, for God's sake. Our neighbors wanted to explain that to them, but, well, you were fighting for justice at an inn. Damn you, you bloody drunk. Mother. Yeah, this is the second narrative focus game where I got a snarky older son. That's true. Okay, documents and letters. Drag and drop documents to change their layout. Press button A to display their contents. So I am playing this on console, not computer. So it might, I don't know if it's going to get awkward sometimes or not, moving things around. Events in the bottom left. React to events. Ignoring them may have severe consequences. Notebook. Review detailed information about current events, actions, and characters. And verdict. Consider the effects and decide the defendant's fate. So we're going to get started on the game here. So let me actually read the proper description of what the heck is going on here. Hold on. Actually, where is that descriptor? Odd. Wait a minute. We got a little technical problem, it would seem. We have a problem in the description of the video. There is a ton of, we have a ton of stuff missing. Okay, hold on. Let me fix that. Okay, yeah, but it's supposed to have a descriptor of what We the Revolution is. So, this, hold on, this game was provided to me for free from, hold on. Yeah, so this game was provided to me for free from the company Vicarious PR. As a heads up, so did not spend my own money on this or your super chat money. Okay, so let's All right. So this is the official description of the game because it's kind of a mix of different things at different points. We the Revolution is a unique game with a singular art style set in the blood-soaked and paranoid world of the French Revolution, where often you cannot tell a friend from an enemy. As a judge of the Revolutionary Tribunal, you will have to trudge through this setting, passing sentences, playing a dangerous political game, and doing everything in your power to not be guillotined as an enemy of the Revolution. At the end of a day, you will also confront your decisions with your family, and very often they will see it differently. The plot of We the Revolution will put you in morally ambiguous situations in which there are no obvious solutions, and the decisions you made are never unambiguous. The power over human life and death is a heavy burden, responsibility, and strength that can affect the fate of the revolution. Keep that in mind each time when passing sentence in the courtroom, while assigning tasks to your agents, giving speeches, and weaving political intrigue behind the scenes. Addressed chiefly to players who enjoy settling moral dilemmas, make complex personal choices, and immerse themselves in the world of sophisticated political intrigue. So yeah, I've heard this compared to Papers, Please. I think this is much more complicated. Okay. Now, let us consider the fate and decide the defender's the effects, decide defender's fate, options, change game settings, hierarchy, review the current balance of power in Paris and your position therein. Intrigues are complex conflicts between you and another political player. A defeat may turn out to be disastrous for you. There's influence points. Influence points are the main currency of the game. Use them wisely. Play close attention to the changes in your influence and relations with factions. Some of your decisions and changes in the world of the game may cause global modifiers to come into action. These factors affect relations, reputation, and influence. You can review them in the notebook. Okay. So here we go. All right. So let's get working on this. Now, from what I looked up, the prologue is just tutorial, virtually pointless in terms of affecting the rest of the game. So right now the stakes are low. So we're probably going to do everything just to kind of show how this all works. So, like, I don't know. Let's start here in the bottom left, for example. You know, yeah, you know what? The music is much lower now. Let's actually go ahead and... Oh, shit. I didn't mean to do that. Oh, no. Okay, let's go back in. I was going to turn the audio just up a little bit since it is quieter in the game. Okay. Okay, continue. There we go. How far does it go? Let's not worry about that right now because remember, different things happen at different points of the game, although that is certainly an extremely, controversial, like something that definitely is like a never-ending argument over 200 years later. When does the French Revolution begin? When does it end? So for right now, let's just say, we're in the 1700s. Let's not get too. Let me put it to you this way: we're not going to see. I would not count on Napoleon. We'll say it that way. This is more the era of the Dantons, the Marats, the Jacques Louis Davids, things like that. The Robespierres, the Montaigu, the things like that. Okay. So, what's the case before the court today? That's a good question. It appears to be something with my family. We're apparently putting a 5-year-old boy on trial. Let's see what the fuck is going on here. Okay. But first, we have some sort of important notification here. Make your decision. Each action may require a different number of influence points and have a different chance of success. Consider them carefully. Okay. Your addictions are neighborhood gossip. Your addictions are no longer a secret. The fact that other children are bullying your son because of them is a minor problem, but who is spreading these rumors? It is unlikely to be one of their parents. They could have been whispered into their children's ear whom they shouldn't play with and why. They might even have spiced the story up with a lie, but who will hear it next? We'll come back to that later. Okay. Now, let's see here. We have relations here. Negative relations with factions mean negative consequences for you. So, that is, so like up there, you can see we have relations with the common folk and relations with revolutionaries. There's going to be more later. Reputation. Reputation impacts everything in the world of the game. Factions, family relations, the audience's attitude, the fervor in the sections, and even the ability to persuade other characters. Influence points, which we kind of went over. You have a set amount of influence points per day. In the future, you will be able to increase this limit. So if I use too much influence early in the day, it's going to be a problem later. Global modifiers. No global modifiers affect your situation at this time. And we have here something that can mark how many different types of sentences we've passed. We could have death penalties, prison sentences, and acquittals. Next page. The prologue, here you'll find information about the decisions you made during each day. So, like, right now we're in the prologue. Nothing's happened because we haven't done anything yet. Whoops. Okay. Then we've got people. So this is kind of like the codex here. So I guess we should go through the family because that's who we're starting with. So there is Mathilde Fidel. Nice. Born in Paris, she's never been outside the city. A woman seen by many as a perfect wife. She takes care of the household and the children and looks after her husband's elderly father. She doesn't show it outright, but she's determined to protect her children at all costs. They're perhaps more important to her than you. Bernard Fidel, that's our oldest son over there sitting in the peanut gallery jeering. A slender and handsome young man, the weight of current developments in France is slowly dawning on him, igniting a revolutionary zeal in his heart. He thinks that the revolutionary judges should only be appointed from the lower classes of society because only such people can be considered untainted and able to work toward the common interest, not only their personal gain. His gullibility is more dangerous than Frederick's, as his actions can carry the same weight as an adult's. People who excel in manipulating young and weak-willed minds may take advantage of his alacrity. Alacrity, my bad. Alacrity. He is a fledgling, yet talented, fiddler. Then there is Frederick Fidel, our youngest son, naive and innocent, which is completely normal for a boy his age. He idolizes you and wants to be just like you. Even if he occasionally disobeys his mother, he carries out his father's will to the letter. His favorite toy is a wooden sword that he always carries at his side. In his imagination, he fights against villains, just like his father does in real life. He likes to carve small wooden figures. Then there is Aldrich Fidel. This is our sick father. Once a moderately well-off merchant, today a bitter old man left with nothing but feverish visions of impossible vengeance against the Renaud family, who once deprived him of his dreams. He's seeking vengeance against the Renaud family. I wonder if that'll ever come up. I'm getting some Tale of Two Cities vibe here. What kind of playthrough are we going? We're going in blind, Lieutenant Leroy. Let's see what happens. For several years, he was unable to adequately provide for his family to give his children the same standard of living that they used to enjoy. Since you secured your new position at the court, your family was once again able to live a fairly acceptable life, and your father again began dreaming of returning to his former trade. Where'd my mug go? Here we go. Hey, PenKitten82, good to see you. All right, Code Geass. You know, I was seeing a thing about Code Geass today, and I was thinking, I really gotta sit down and watch that sometime. It seems to be one of those animes that, like, if you're into the mecha genre and the sci-fi genre, which I am, you gotta check it out at some point to have an opinion on it. Anyway. And I did just recently rewatch Gunbuster. God, that anime has aged so well. It's still fucking amazing. It's a work of art. And it's all free on YouTube, by the way, Gunbuster. Anyway, it's only 6 episodes. Instead of enjoying the prestige and wealth of the Fidel family, he had to bear witness to the Renaud family's rise to power. And then finally, there is Raymond de Voyer, a man who has lived long enough to fully realize that justice isn't always the right answer. In his line of work in these troubled times, the only thing that matters is survivalist instinct. At times, it must go against the interests of other people. A man with such a mindset knows that one must keep an open ear, both in the parlors and the back alleys. The blind Themis appears to him as a bedtime fable, fit at best for novice law students. Perhaps he perceives too many shades of gray morality to remain an efficient judge. Okay, so I think that's everything here. Let's go back, and what have we got here? Oh yeah, I think this is the alleged... Yeah, this is the case file, so hold on. I need to get some paper shuffling ASMR. Okay. Let's see here. Why is my 5-year-old son in front of the court? To Judge Alexis Fidel, we have not expected this kind of behavior from your son, although apparently we should have. Innocent child's play turned into an assault on our children. The younger one, Antonine, now has a chipped front tooth. We hope you will punish your child accordingly. Should the situation repeat itself, we will react more decisively. I am sure we can deal with a gambler and drunkard, even if he is a judge. We will not let our children be hurt. So files, review, charges, and facts. This will make it easier for you to unlock questions for the defendant. Yeah, order! Order! Oh, shoot. Hold on. Wish you could send a super chat, but the processing payment thing never actually goes through. Well, don't worry about it. You know. Don't worry, guys. I got a real world job. I'm not going to starve if I don't get your super chats. But I do appreciate them. It's what keeps live streams going and whatnot. Okay. Finally, unavailable in this case. I find the defendant guilty or not guilty. So obviously we're not going to do that yet because... Okay, yeah, I got it. Sign the document to legitimize your verdict. Right, so we're not going to do this right now. And yeah, because this is yeah, it kind of makes sense that this isn't real. This is obviously not like a real court case because it's just a family dispute. We're just in the court. So like, yeah, so this is not going to do, like, the common folk of the revolutionaries don't actually care. It's the tutorial case. Okay, so let's get started. Order! Order! Alright. That's a French guy who says that, right? Okay. Gather information and influence the jury's attitude by questioning the defendant. To ask questions, you have to first unlock them in the inquiry linking menu. Being in the jury's good graces allows you to find out which way they will sway after you have asked a question. Okay, there's nothing available here. Oh, did I have to, like... Oh, there we go. Finding links. Find the correct links to unlock questions for the defendant. Choose a line of inquiry and link it to the right category. While linking lines of inquiry and categories, you can make a limited number of mistakes. If you make too many mistakes, the whole system will become locked. Some cases may contain traps. Read through the files thoroughly to find the lines of inquiry that are irrelevant. Okay. So, what do we got here? Course of events, extenuating circumstances. All right. So like, can we go back? Yeah, so we can go back. We can go over here. Younger one, Anthony, now has a chipped front tooth. We hope you will punish your child accordingly. All right. So Antonine has the chipped front tooth. Okay, let's go. We have 4 questions to reveal. So, injured Antonine. That's not a course of event thing. That's... Yeah, he's the victim, right? So, hold on. How do I... Ah! Okay, I have to, like, move this with the joystick, so it's a little awkward. Okay. Okay. Injured Antonine is... Okay, so as you can see on the right, we did not make a mistake when we did that. And we revealed a question. So, like, for example, if I close this... Yeah, we can see here now who started the fight. There you go. Okay. So, the chipped tooth. I think the chipped tooth is probably important. Actually, hold on a second. Wasn't there little icons here? Okay, yeah, so we can see little icons. There's, like, the chipped tooth, and then there's Antonine holding his face, and then there's the punching thing, and then it looks like 3 kids or whatever. So, there's something going on there. So, like... Child's play. So do we do like child's play and extenuating circumstances? Because it's like, oh, it's just kids, you know. All right, there you go. There you go. That did it. So it says that revealed another question for us. We could do chipped tooth. And then that's like the victim, right? And then, okay, it looks like I can only choose between these 2. That's weird. Okay, so like child's play and course of event. So it doesn't even give me an option. So I guess that has to be the right one. That's weird. Yeah, look, it won't even let me do other stuff. So I guess the game is showing me how to do it correctly. Okay. So, what do we want to ask here? I guess, like, we opened every question, and, like, there's not really a jury, so we don't have that stuff yet. Does it feel like free will is a lie and you don't have a choice in the matter? All the time in these choose. It's ironic. These choose your own adventure games usually make you feel more helpless than anything. Okay. So, how did your play turn into a fight? Our neighbors, Antony... If it blocks, it means you already unlocked the question. Oh, okay. So, our neighbors, Antonin and Jean, they were saying mean things about you. We were playing guards, and they asked me to pretend to be a drunkard whom they would... You know. You were fighting both of them. So for Alexis, I'm going to do my own voice for the main guy. So we are Alexis, apparently. To just, you know, if I do my jokey French accents, it's going to kill my throat, you know. So we say, I promise this is related to this game. Well, you know, we're going to play through it. It's the tutorial. This is probably the most important thing that we need to understand right away. I had to. Okay, so what exactly were they saying? Like Telltale games. Oh, yeah. I've never heard anything good about a Telltale game, except for the Borderlands one. But even the Borderlands one, it was like, oh, you know, it's just story. It was a good story. Anyway. Are you too drunk? Okay, I'm going to do the obnoxious French accent for my son Bernard here, because he's reminding me of fucking Frank from Suzerain. Okay. Are you too drunk to guess? I was not asking you. They were yelling that you are... Well, I told them it's not true, and they started calling me names. They called me a drunkard son. Who started the fight? I can tell you who ended it. I think it was me. I kicked the one on the left, then wanted to get the one on the right. But they ended it. Welcome to my anime, and I am a protagonist, One Proud Bavarian. I haven't watched some One Proud Bavarian in a while. He's great. I like his voice. Him and Pen Kitten. Those guys got voices for radio, you know what I mean? Tenbray says, I can't wait until we vote to chop off our oldest son's head. They knocked me back. They knocked me to the ground and paid me back for hitting them. Did you really break Antonine's tooth? Frederick is just a child. Boy, I'm gonna make you feel like a child when I smack your shit up. You're in my courtroom. Shut up. Anyway, I don't know. I don't think so. Did you hit him in the face? I think I kicked him, but not that hard. Is that everything? Yep, no more questions. Okay, so, time to, make our decision. Double check our notes here. No global modifiers. This is not, yeah, nothing here. I don't think he chipped the kid's tooth. He said he kicked him in the leg, and then, let's see here. Oh yeah, what's this? Your addictions are no longer a secret. It could be the parents. I'm ignoring that. You don't give gossipers the time of day. I already looked at creative nickname. I see. Yeah, we're ignoring it. We're ignoring the gossip. Fuck them. All right. So he said. What did he say? He said he kicked a kid on the leg on the left, and then he tried to kick on the right but missed, and then they jumped him. I don't think he chipped the kid's tooth. So let's come over here. Wait, what's this? Oh, we can drag. What I hold ZR. Oh, look at that. I can move stuff around. Yeah, lottie freaking da. Ooh. Okay. He started it. I don't know. The kid started thing. What's the offense they're formally being charged with? It seems like innocent child's play turned into an assault on our children. If I could quote my favorite character from paraphrase actually, because it's a 5-year-old, not a 12-year-old. But if I could paraphrase my favorite character from season 2 of True Detective, 5 years old and you're already fucking evil. 5 years old, my ass. Fuck you. By which I mean the other kids. So we're gonna say not guilty. This wasn't child's play. This was a serious accusation they were making. Physical violence is worse than an insult, yes, but guess what? I'm the judge. This is my kid, and we're gonna pronounce him not guilty of the crime of chipping the tooth. I don't think my wife's gonna like this. Not guilty. I'm pressing the thing. Oh, I have to come. Wait. Do I press this? There we go. I find the defendant not guilty. Don't worry, guys. I know. Look, already some of you were saying, I know you guys are already saying nepotism. Don't worry. My oldest son is already getting on my nerves, and nobody's gonna claim nepotism when I order his head chopped off. So it's gonna work out, right? I'm hoping that's the thing. I'm hoping we get to make that decision. You did well. A man has to defend the honor of his family, no matter what. We did it, guys. We had our first one. Okay. Uh-oh, our wife has something to say. Those children are so small and they already know the truth. The father of my children is a lying drunk and a gambler. Bernard used to worship you, but he soon grew up. Now it is Frederick's turn to learn the truth that echoes in the streets. He's no longer fearing your anger. He knows that your threats are empty. Frederick is only starting to learn the truth about his father from the streets. I was unaware that Mathilde had such a temper. As was I. We will wait outside, as always. Oh God, look at the chat and I just see, shut up, woman! Goodness.
Paris.
This is us talking.
Liberté! We were enchanted by the idea of freedom. We could not resist it. Whole families took to the streets. France was never so happy. We were enchanted by the idea of freedom.
Okay, Act 1, Liberté. Gee, I wonder what Act 2 and 3 will be called. Not that there's anything wrong with that. Okay, let's see. To be fair, most kids grow up to detest their parents. Yeah. Okay, here we go. Expected sentence. Find out which verdict is expected by the factions and your close ones. Okay, so how do we actually look at that? All right. So, I guess we don't. It's just the little symbols. Okay. So if we refer to the this notebook here, the common folk is the fist symbol. Hey there, Blake. Oh, you gotta go. Do what you gotta do, man. Remember, anybody, if you ever can't catch all the stream, I try to make sure that I've always got them in my master live stream playlist, and I've also, in this case, made a We the Revolution playlist, which should be available on the channel. You should be able to find it. Okay, so public execution, more like POG, like execution, and so the memes start. Anyway, so so the common folk is the fist symbol. The revolutionaries are the flag. Okay, so then if we look up at the top, I wish I had a cursor to kind of show you, but above the ask, you see how there's the two circles there? So it looks like both the common folk and the revolutionaries want me to throw this guy in prison. And nobody wants him to be let free. So this should be pretty easy. Check the verdict book. Oh yeah, it's also there, right. So the verdict's consequences were determined based on faction relations. So yeah, if we find him guilty, if we send him to prison, they'll both like us more. If we acquit him, they'll both like us less. Pretty simple stuff. And also the jury has not reached a verdict yet. We have to ask questions. Okay, but thank you very much for the help. Yeah, if anybody's played this before and you want to, I usually don't like the backseat gaming, but if I'm misunderstanding a mechanic, please let me know. Now, don't try to force me into making certain decisions, but, if you just want to make sure that I'm finding the right thing, that's different. That's understandable. Also, we have an important news here. Let's read this. Neighborhood gossip. In this city, only the dead are free of addiction. What do you care about the people's idols gossip? Uh-oh. So, everybody likes me less now because of that. Yeah, it was up there in the top right. How do I check that? Yeah, so the common folk went down by 3, revolutionaries went down by 2, my overall reputation went down by 3. So my reputation is not good right now, it's at a -3. Okay, so maybe we should have done something. Jury, France doesn't have juries, judges make the victory. Yes, because that's true, They have that style of law, and so does actually some parts of the United States, believe it or not, like Alabama. But the way the mechanics in this game work is that as you ask the questions, the jury will start to form an opinion and they will advise me. That's I think that's what the tutorial was saying. If you're a normal person, gossip's annoying but harmless. If you're a politician, gossips can be lethal. Yeah. Okay. So let's get to it, I guess. Oh, no. Before, we have to read the case file. Okay, here. You know what? I probably should have a piece of paper and a notepad for this. Where's my paper? CHG rummaging in his desk, ASMR time. Okay, what have we got here? Wait, no, this is my, Oh, hey! Funnily enough, I reached in and the notebook I grabbed was my, one when I was studying the history of the Supreme Court. Let's keep this out, actually. That could be fun to work with. Okay, but I just need some spare paper. Perfect. Here we go. Okay. Okay. So, compiled by Richard Monnier. Jean Renaud, a 45-year-old innkeeper, has been charged with fraud. He is accused of diluting alcohol. Okay, I'm going to start writing down everything that's highlighted. Diluting alcohol in his tavern, tricking his clients into paying extra. Guests came with their minds set on a specific goal. Getting roaring drunk, but instead of staggering out after drinking 2 pitchers of wine or several pints of beer, they would sit in the inn till morning, still sober and completely pilliness. Yeah. The innkeeper's fraud came to light when one of the customers discovered the scam and caught the cheater in the act. The man entered the host's cellar and witnessed him diluting the alcohol in the barrels with ordinary water. As a result, customers received only 4 parts of what they paid for and 1 part from the water carrier. Diluting alcohol, wine in France? There is no curse in elvish, Tukish, or the tongues of men for this treachery. It's like everybody just lining up. Monarchists, radicals, leftists, Thermidorians. They're just like, cut his head off. Cut his fucking head off. Like, just, why do we even need the trial? Just, anyway. Let's see here. So, let's get asking some questions then. In difficult times, people like to seek peace at the bottom of a glass. Please introduce yourself. My name is Jean Renaud, Monsieur le Juge. Nothing but a fraud! Oh, yep. Not a fan. Not a fan. Let's see. To be honest, I don't mind the man diluting the alcohol. People not getting drunk should be seen as a good thing. Yes, but the crime is fraud here, Tenbray. It's like, there's nothing right. You can sell low ABV stuff. Shoot, the last time I was at a bar, they had like a 2.1% alcohol on tap. That's a thing. Sometimes, and I had some. It was because the flavor was good. So did a friend of mine. And like that's like medieval shit, It's like, hey, we gotta have some alcohol in here so the water is safe to drink. Okay, so let's get the questions. So, yeah, you're paying for wine, not for water. Okay, so what is the problem here? What we've got here is God, American beer is so weak. No, there's some strong stuff out there too. I was just giving an example. But yeah, like mainstream American beer is pretty damn lame. All right, good night, Soci List. Okay, so I guess exposing the innkeeper would go with witnesses. I guess adding water would go with method. Okay, I don't think we've made any mistakes yet. Yeah, I guess they're throwing me an easy one first. I guess diluting alcohol, would that be motive? No, shit. Okay, that would be method. I'm glad they eliminate something so you don't accidentally make a mistake. Okay, we still have a question to reveal. Do we go with customer drunkenness or the innkeeper? I guess customer drunkenness and motive? Okay. What is the justice thing there? Okay, so look, so I think the way... Oh, I haven't had a Budweiser in years. I think the way that what the little symbols mean is we could influence the jury, I think. Because you know how it's saying the jury has not reached a verdict yet, but if we ask leading questions, that will make them want to believe in that thing. So like these scales, yeah, you're like, so yeah, Serge said justice means neutral. But the guillotine means we're gonna ask questions that lead the jury on. So like for just look at these questions, like how long have you been involved in the illegal practice of diluting alcohol? So like that already we're speaking in such a way that it's like, oh, I know you did it, so how long have you been doing it? When like the question here is he actually doing it or not? Oh goodness, what a good night to me. Wait, is that for me, Valisky? I hardly know you. And Youngling is good. But you can't get it in El Paso. But I have a friend whose brother lives in Tennessee, and whenever he comes into town, he'll bring Younglings. Younglings is good, and Hams is good. But like most stuff you'll find in the store, in my opinion, is not. You're better off just paying a little bit of extra more money to go ahead and get something quality. Anyway, so you know what? Let's pretend to be neutral at least for this first one. Please call in Thomas Leclerc. Who is that? I think this is the witness. Please introduce yourself. Oh, it's for Seal. Oh, okay. Thomas Leclerc. I'm a regular at John Renaud's establishment. So right now the justice is in favor of acquittal. The jury is in favor of an acquittal. We gotta push them to wanting the sentence, right? Okay, so we can ask... I'm trying to ask a question, but this is, like, locked? How did you catch Citizen Renaud in the act of diluting wine with water? I was having one drink after another, so I had to... You know, Monsieur le Judge. I know. So it happened that one time I got lost, and instead of, you know, I ended up in the cellar, where I saw Renaud adding water to the barrels. Yep, they want him to go to prison. But I think if I crank it up more, they'll want full-blown execution. So, how did you feel about tricking weary citizens with a capital C? Because we're referring to the noble citizens of France. How did you feel about tricking weary citizens? Terrible, but all I wanted was to keep my business afloat. Others don't mess around for sure. No diluting would be the end of me. So you decided to commit fraud so as not to lose money. If I lost my tavern, my family would starve to death. Do you have children? I do. 1 son and 2 daughters. Time to start saving up for the dowry. Then why don't you send them to work, idiot? Do your clients drink a lot? Tavern regulars usually drink a lot, so you've been selling plenty of wine. Quite a lot, yes. And yet you've been paying taxes on the amount of wine you have bought, but not the amount of wine you have been selling, correct? I don't understand. You've been paying taxes on 4 wine barrels, but by adding a quarter of water to each, have actually made the money for selling 5 barrels of wine. That's one way of putting it. Perhaps is correct. I'm not too good with numbers. Yeah. Hey, Tenbray, weren't you the one earlier saying get this kid to work? Why is this 5-year-old not in the factory? Or was that somebody else? You are not good with numbers, yet good enough to have calculated that fraud pays off. I wasn't aware. I will take that answer into account. The judges exposed the bastard! I don't know. Fraud, deceiving the citizenry, not paying his taxes. Maybe this guy does need to go to the guillotine. How long have you been involved in the illegal practice of diluting alcohol? It's not an illegal practice. Everyone adds a bit. Oh, so it's not a crime if everybody's doing it, eh? In your case, it was a bit of wine in the water, not the other way around. I like that people can jeer from the gallery. That's funny. Do I have to ask all the questions? No, but I wanted to. Have you been doing this for a long time? Few weeks at the most. It's been harder living lately. I used to run an honest business. Pure wine was overspilling the glasses. Is there any proof to support your testimony? He lied to his customers. No reason he wouldn't lie in court. Well, I think that's all I need to know. What do you guys think? This is going to be so much fun to live. I'm so glad I decided to make this a live stream series, not pre-recorded. I think this is going to be super fun. Getting people's, thoughts as we go. What's this rapport thing? Review the trial records. Oh, that's cool. So I could go back and look at the answers to the questions. That'll probably be good later. I'd imagine later on there's going to be some very long question route things. Okay. Well, I think this guy's guilty. It's pretty like he's admitted it. He's like, yeah, I did it. Yeah, but I don't think it's wrong that I did it. It's like, well, that's too damn bad because it's against the law. Let's see. So, well, unfortunately, we don't have a fine option here, Tenbray. So, the jury right now votes in favor of incarcerating the defendant. They find the punishment sufficient. So, yeah. Well, let's do it. Fidelis. I sentence citizen Jean Renaud to prison. Lead the condemned out. Huzzah! Long live pure wine! Woo! Alright. Trial summary. Common folk went up. Revolutionary went up. I sent him to prison. We unlocked all the questions. Influence of the jury. Nothing happened. Nor did anything happen in regards to our reputation. Okay, so obviously it's a tutorial trial, He is worse than a drug dealer. He is, and may God forgive me for saying this, a wine diluter. He's worse than a drug dealer. He's a tax evader. He's a Renaud. The family... You're right! He was a Renaud. That's the family my father hates. Well, one down. But seriously, let's double check that. Yeah, Jean Renaud. I think you're right. That's the family my father hates. Let's check that. Aldrich. Yes. A bitter old man left with nothing but feverish visions of impossible vengeance against the Renaud family who once deprived him of his dreams. Instead of enjoying the prestige and wealth of the Fidel family, he had to bear witness to the Renaud family's rise to power. They could have cousins and stuff, but it's a good start. This one's for you, Dad. Do I have a Discord server? I once did, never again. It sucks. Okay. It's Jacques-Louis David! The painter, the revolutionary painter! So this is a really famous guy. He's the one who did those famous portraits of Napoleon crossing the Alps. But he also did... let me see if I can pull some up, actually. Jacques-Louis David. Some paintings of his. Okay, so yeah. So he did like... Oh my god, he's got so much good stuff. And he was in it too. Like his signature was on the decision to kill King Louis. But let me pull up some of the more famous ones of his. Give me a second here. I'll like make a impromptu PowerPoint slide. Whoops, hold on. Do that. Okay, here we go. And then close that. I'll pull up a few of the favorites. Yes, gotta have Death of Marat. Give me a second here. The music is gone, by the way. That's why you're not hearing much background. So give me a second. I gotta pull up his really famous one. Yep, there it is. There we go. Whoa, whoop. Nope, not that one. Not that one. Okay. Wait, I want that one, and that one. Okay, here we go. So, we're going to switch over to the... hold on. Let's switch over to a different screen. I think we want to click this. There it is. Okay, cool. So this is one of Jacques-Louis David's more famous early works. It is called the Oath of the Horatii. Hold on, I'm getting all tongue twisted here. Jacques-Louis David was a really prominent painter. He was kind of like the painter of the Revolution. And this was the painting of the Oath of the Horatii, which is basically these are three brothers here who are taking an oath to fight against to fight three brothers from another town, and the three brothers are actually married to their three sisters here. So these are the sisters in mourning because they now know they're about to lose either their three brothers or they're going to lose their husbands. And so like this is like associated with, you know, fealty to the state, fealty to the republic. Super important, of course. You know, in the context of the French Revolution, that sort of revolutionary propaganda. You know, this kind of in the game, this kind of looks like him. Another one we've got here is hold on, Control Shift Tab. Nope, not that. Oh my god, what's happening? There we go. We've got here Napoleon crossing the Alps. So this is the version that I have. Actually, I actually do have this in my apartment hung up. There was 5 versions of it. This was not the original. I prefer this version because Napoleon's face is done better. Because in the original, his face actually doesn't really look like Napoleon. Because Napoleon wouldn't sit for it long enough. Because this was commissioned as a gift from the King of Spain. So he said like, hey, you know, I'll pay for Jacques-Louis David to do a portrait of you like this. And then Napoleon came in. He sits down for it, and then he leaves, and then Jacques-Louis David is like, got incest? What are you talking about, Aaron? We're not talking about incest. Anyway. Napoleon wouldn't sit down long enough for Jacques to get a good image of him, and then Napoleon's like, I'm a busy dude, I got other shit to do. So the original picture, I don't really like Napoleon's face because it's not as well done. This one is much better in my opinion, and it's putting Napoleon in that legendary status, with Hannibal and Charlemagne, other famous generals, warriors who had fought in Italy, who had gone over the Alps, and you see the artillerymen doing work up here. I actually have a second picture of this event, but done by a different painter. And then we've finally got. Oh my God, we're having technical issues here. I'm trying to switch between the images. There we go. And then this is an extremely, extremely famous one from him. This is the Death of Marat. So Marat was a very prominent figure during the French Revolution. And he was assassinated. Like, this was a guy who looked at Robespierre and said, Robespierre doesn't have what it takes. He's far too weak. He's far too soft. He's too peaceful-minded. So Marat was assassinated. Now, we don't exactly know what went down, but first off, he's here in a bathtub. The reason why he's in the bathtub is because he had a skin disease. So he basically turned his bathtub into his office because he would just sit in it for hours a day, and he would wear this sheet on his head that was soaked in vinegar. So this woman named Charlotte Corday comes to his home, and this was her testimony. This is what she said, because she admitted she did it. She says, she's like, hey, in my hometown, there are revolutionaries who are out of control, and they're executing people without proper trials. And then Marat says, okay, give me their names. And so she does, and so he writes them all down, and then he calls in his secretary and says, I want you to have this delivered. And then he then turns to Charlotte and says, okay, I've written down all the names you said. They will be killed immediately. And so it's like kind of ironic. And again, this was her testimony. This is what she said. Nobody was there. You know, nobody else was there, I should say. But like, you know, obviously he was dead. He was the other witness. But she says, it's like, oh, so I told you that people were getting killed without trial, so you sentence people to death without trial? And so then she takes out a knife and fucking stabs him, and that's how he gets killed. So he becomes a martyr figure for the revolution, Marat, that is. And so then Jacques-Louis David, you know, see he signed it down here, he paints this, and it basically becomes... Marat becomes like the Jesus of the revolution. He's seen as this sacrificial, semi-messianic figure. So yeah, very, very important painter, and it's so cool that we're running into him in this game. All right, let's actually get back to the game, shall we? Just need to move some things around. Move the live stream over here. Do this there. Okay, do that, and we are back. Okay, we're back. So, okay. It's Jacques-Louis David. May I remind you that you promised to join me? Oh yeah, and then Jacques-Louis David, he didn't just paint about this stuff. He got involved. Like I said, he was a member of the assembly. He signed his signature on the death warrant to the king. He was like, fuck this guy, cut his head off. But, you know, he also was a really big Napoleon fan, so some people would say maybe he wasn't so revolutionary. Some people would say that, no, he was following the revolution. Like I said at the beginning of the stream when I was going on and on, this is very complicated stuff. All right. May I remind you that you promised to join me? I have a feeling that tonight's moon favors gamblers, though it does not favor spouses. God should grace us with wives who understand the importance of an evening game of dice. They should know that the right amount of wine guarantees a lucky roll. Hold on. I'm having an issue in the other tab. I'm trying to fix this. What is it, Caesar? What is it? Having a little problem here. So, the right amount of wine guarantees a lucky roll. I should go home. Bringing a judge to the game has benefits. Other players will surely not cheat. That is not a strong argument. My name is Jacques-Louis David. I am but a humble painter, not a silver-tongued judge. You are a sly politician, Jacques. As a politician, I understand the importance of keeping promises, and you, my friend, are trying to get out of yours. So I could keep my promise. I guess we promised to go out, or we can go home. Now, this game is supposed to say, so I see we have a monarchist in the chat. That's just what I'm kind of getting from Maskey, or at least a anti-revolutionist. And I'm not going to give my opinions or anything. Like, I'm going to be playing devil's advocate a lot. I'm going to be arguing for the terror, against the terror, etc., throughout this series, and it's going to be fun. So I think that it's my understanding is there's supposed to be like a family mechanic where you track how much your family, like, oh, I didn't mean to do that. Oh, no. Nope. I accidentally clicked the wrong button. I wanted to see if I can go back. I don't even know which one I selected. Okay, hold on. Turning it off and turning it back on, and hopefully we can just go back to an earlier save file. Oh, man. Dang it, I need to keep track of what button I'm clicking. I don't even know which one I selected. I was trying to hit back so I could check my notes. Alright. Oh, dang it. Okay, how do I go to options? Options only for a short while. No. Okay, well, I guess I'm just screwed. It looks like we chose to go out. Oh god. We chose to go out fuck's sake. Oh no, I wanted to go home. You'll have to restart the case. Fuck me. Alright, alright. Hold on. No, we're getting out of this. God damn it. There we go. Okay. I exited without saving. Alright. Let's see here. Alright, give me a second. Alright, what is going on here? So we got people saying, the wife seems spiteful, why care what she wants? We just got a great bunch of future spouses in my community, as has been previously been established. Okay, so, like, yeah, let's go to the autosave, I guess. Nope, nope, not that part. Okay, so I gotta go to the previous autosave. Yeah, Greek History Games, there's already saves coming. What a noob. I genuinely clicked the wrong button. I thought I was pressing B and I wanted to hit A because I was trying to see if there was a, like a family meter thing. Let's see here. Should we cultural revolution CHG chat? What does that even mean? Roman says, thankfully I'm not married or have ever been. Why would you ever be thankful about that? I'm really glad that I've never found somebody I wanted to spend the rest of my life with. Oh, by the way, I should comment here on the logo. Like, have you noticed that Justice seems to have cut off her own head and is weighing it against the gavel, and the gavel is heavier? What's up with that, huh? Okay, Nestor and Mako, yeah, am I sure? Yes. Says, in all fairness, she has to understand the revolution of its historical significance. Making friends with your fellow revolutionaries could save her husband's head in this climate. That is a good point. It's like, honey, I have to go out drinking and gambling. If not, they'll kill me. You know, we joke, but that's kind of what it was like in, under Stalin. You have to go to his late night getting fucking wasted and choosing who he was going to execute parties. Okay, yeah. Okay, so ask, introduce yourself. Okay, so we're just gonna like slam through this real quick. Yeah, read the case file, talk to the guy. Okay, what was it? It was like adding water. No, that was a fuck's sake. You know what? We don't need to ask the goddamn questions. Then again, I should try to convince the jury. Hold on a second. Do you feel? Let's see. You have children. All right, the jury's still in favor of acquittal. Okay, what was it? It was like exposing the innkeeper. That was witnesses, right? Then diluting alcohol was the motive. No, diluting. I made the same mistake twice. Diluting alcohol was the method. Okay, customer's drunkenness was the motive. Okay. Alright. How long have you been involved in practicing? It's not illegal. Yeah, sure. Do your clients drink a lot? Yeah, they do drink quite a lot. I don't understand. Good with numbers. I'm committing fraud. There we go. They want him to go to prison. Prison it is. Sign it up. Okay. I'll try to minimize those mistakes in the future, Starry. Let's see here. Alright, so I sent Sims to prison. Huzzah, long live pure wine. Let's go. Trial's done. Okay, now before we... Yeah, common folk went up 5, revolutionaries plus 3. Because not all the revolutionaries were drinkers. In fact, Robespierre was not much of a drinker. It kind of pissed people off. So I'm trying to see, where's my family? Is there like a meter for how my family feels about me? I don't see one here. Okay. Well, in any case, we're going to go home. She's trying to shame the viewers for not being married. No, I wasn't saying that at all. And like, I understand that marriage isn't for everybody, but it is a little weird to see the sentence like, "Sure glad I'm not married yet." And it's like, yeah, I'm sure glad that I haven't found somebody to spend the rest of my life in bliss with. Like, what? The family meter will be shown later. Okay. Yeah, Silver-tongued judge. Oh, god damn it, I did it again! Oh, no, I didn't want to! Fuck me! Ah! God damn it! Oh, stop! They need to do like Pokemon. I need to be able to advance forward while pressing B so that when I get to a selection screen, it doesn't actually select. Ah! Ugh. Alright, somebody said, are you saying that if Robespierre was a drinker, he would not have been killed? No, I'm not saying that. By the way, if you are interested in the French Revolution, like this specific period, I would recommend the movie, and it's free on YouTube, I think. It's called Danton, and so it's from the point of view of, obviously, Danton. But it is so good. It's played by Gérard Depardieu as Danton, who's like, you know, the guy who's in every fucking French movie ever. And choose the revolutionaries, you monarchist swine. But there's a lot of good scenes in it, but my favorite one is when Robespierre and Danton sit down together for dinner. It's kind of early in the movie. And you know, because they're friends, and like they've got like, but they're parts of different factions, and the factions are trying to like set them against each other, and they just have this scene, and I just think it's really wonderfully blocked and acted, and basically by the end, like they're just arguing, like Danton is trying to like reconcile the two of them, and Robespierre's like, no, I have to do this for the revolution, and then by the end, Danton's like, you know, you're gonna have to cut off my head, man. And it's just done so well. I could watch that scene on a loop. It's great. Okay, diluting alcohol was the motive. No, that was the... every time I get that one wrong the first time. Method. Hey there, Paul Revere is in the chat. Alright, where was I? Exposing the Innkeeper. We got witnesses. No, it was fuck's sake. Adding water was the... Hold on. It was the fucking method. Customer drunkenness was motive. Okay. I think that's everything. Cool. How long you been diluting shit? I gotta find a button. Is there... Nope, it looks like only the A button advances, and that's also what selects things. So I have to be extremely careful here. Your clients drink a lot. Quite a lot, yes. Wasn't aware. Okay, there we have it. Come over here. Verdict. You're going to jail, bitch. Okay, so it looks like now we've got arguments about marriage. We've got one person saying marriage is a monarchistic scheme to terrorize the peasantry. I'm not sure how terrorism gets involved in it, but we've also got here someone saying marriage is the union of two souls connecting their destinies together to create a new energy into the world, therefore a good thing. And then nobody says method. I don't know what that means. Oh, Nestor says if Robespierre did drink, he'd still be alive because alcohol enlightens. Hashtag gang alcoholonig. What? When did this become a marriage counseling channel? I don't... Look, we're trying to avoid needing marriage counseling, so let's keep the wife happy. All right, here we go. Why? Okay, blah, blah, blah. I should go home. Others will not cheat. That's not a strong argument. You are a sly politician. We are going to go home. Not tonight, Jacques. Okay. Let's see. Here we go. Oh, let's see. The wife's happy. Marriage is practically the biggest driving force of divorce. That's a classic. 100% of divorces started with a marriage. True story. True story. Okay, so I guess we have a dialogue here. Okay. What? Do you not want to berate me like you always do? Oh, shoot. Okay, see, the husband looks miserable at dinner. Well, hopefully we're going to go through an arc where we... Okay, so we're starting out, we're a drunkard and a gambler. And we know that these aren't just accusations because we had that little clip at the beginning of the show, or beginning of the game, where we're stumbling drunk through the halls of the courthouse. So hopefully we can, improve over time and get better. Why do you have to have a wife if you're married to France? Damn, I didn't think about that. All right. Do you not want to berate me like you always do? I'm glad you're home. Are you aware that Frederick sometimes imagines you as a deep-sea sailor? He dreams that you visit distant countries and have wonderful adventures. Hi, Potato Man. But he would rather have you by his side on land. We all want that. I don't want to watch the storm blow your lifeboat away and bury it beneath the waves. Very metaphorical. There are no waves. The storm is getting closer. Dark clouds already hang over the shore. Just wait until they finish building the guillotine. Your oars will break at once and the waves will take you to a place you'll wish you'd never set foot on. We may be in danger of overextending this metaphor. Just what is it, Caesar? Meow, meow, meow. Yeah, I'm also not going to stream for too much longer, guys. I mostly want to get this first stream out of the way, No, I'm not saying I hate the writing style, but it is a little funny. A place without us. Your family loves you, but we won't find you in the darkness that has already begun to reach for you. Really? You couldn't give me a kiss before bed? Alright, here we go. Family actions. Upon returning home, you can decide how you would like to spend the rest of the day. Various actions. Each action will affect the other members of the family, as well as their attitude towards you. Each character's attitude can provide you with, or deprive you of, certain bonuses. Example, reputation or relations with factions. Youngest son. Your youngest son is special. His attitude makes the other family members like you slightly more. Take good care of him. Okay, so it looks like this is our father would be hold on, I don't understand. Is it the red highlight or the blue highlight that encourages people? Evening gambling. Okay, reading together. I think the blue is... Yeah, blue is good. Okay. So whatever I pick, if it's blue, that's going to... It looks like that's going to improve my relations with the ones who are highlighted blue. And then if it's red, they don't like it. So if we go to the theater, my youngest son's not going to like that. He's probably going to be bored. And then I guess my dad doesn't like theater. Okay. Oh yeah, there's... thank you very much, David Cantu. So we got a lot of stuff about history going on here. Let's see. Nestor Mako says, look at the fact of the matter is, if a woman was making history and her husband wanted him home, or probably supposed to say her home, wanted her home to do her wifely duties, we would rightfully call him an asshole. The revolution is priority. Spouses die, children resent you. Regardless of what you do, you must create a legacy for the people. Speaking as a sailor, she has no idea what it's like to be on a ship. All sailors want to go home. I didn't know you were a sailor, Mad BC Eddie. Interesting. Okay. Let's see. Create a life of betterment for the others so they don't suffer as you do. Okay. So, let's see here. Okay, so it looks like if our father likes us, we'll get bonuses with the common people. If our oldest son likes us, we'll get bonuses with the revolutionaries. And we don't yet know what the I don't think it's shown us what that head symbol is, but the wife is connected to something else. And then the son increases everything. So like the son, it's like a middleman. The youngest son is for everybody else. Okay, we can play with the children. Your wife's needs can wait. Ooh, are the wife's needs connected to my needs? You know, little mutual needs. Opening night at the theater, there's a new play opening. Reading together, there's nothing like sitting with your family in a good book next to a warm fire, even though some may think it is dull. Or evening gambling. You could spend some time with your family every now and then, show them your world. Perhaps he will get, with my father. He'll get a taste for it. So I just take my dad out. Hey, honey, I came home instead of going out and drinking and gambling. Thanks for the food. I'm grabbing my father, and now I'm going out drinking and gambling. I think we'll do playing with the children. That might be the way to go. Although my wife's not gonna like that. No, reading together. Reading together. It's three positives and one negative. Seems to be the easiest one. Fun fact, talking about a good book next to a warm fire, even though it might think it's dull. So I once was doing some, this was back when I was in the military, we were doing war games in Fort Polk, Louisiana. And a lot of it was like really intense and stuff, but sometimes we were just sitting around. And I had taken books. I always would stuff, I'd stuff books into my rucksack. And, so I would whip them out and read, and then some guys, they started to say, "Hey, Conquering History Games, can you read to us?" Just to give us something to do. So I remember I read a little bit from The Return of the King, and I also read this, and I read like a whole Robert Heinlein book. It was one of his shorter ones. It was like one of his future history things. It had an ending though that we didn't like. I got pissed at it too. When was I at Fort Polk? Oh God, this had to have been 2000. Hold on, it was the year. When was the World Cup? Hold on, Spurs champ. It was the same year the Spurs won the title that year, and I remember because I asked my parents to record the finals because I was going to be gone for it, and so I went when I got out. I went to my parents' house and watched the games there. It was like, no spoilers on the basketball games, but hold on a second. Let's see, San Antonio Spurs. Kawhi Leonard, 98. Yeah, so it was 2014. Okay, anyway, let's read together. I could roll a d4 dice. I don't have one, but that's an interesting idea. Okay. I hear Fort Polk is horrible. How'd you find it? Well, I didn't see a whole lot of it because we were mostly in the field, but it was just, I could definitely imagine it would suck to be there permanently. Caesar's being needy. Yeah. Don't worry, Caesar. Him and I, we cuddle during all. He sleeps with me in my bed, so don't worry. We get a lot of time together. But yeah, I could definitely imagine Fort Polk being pretty bad. And of course, out there in the field, it was there's so much shit. One of my sergeants had to go to the hospital. He got so fucked up with bug bites and all sorts of like toxic shit. Like his legs looked like he had bubonic plague, except it was red and yellow instead of black. Okay. Today, the people of Paris commemorate Jacques Guillaume Semeneur, mayor of Alps. He was lynched by a furious mob for performing his duties to France. This march shall symbolize the unity of our society and the hope that the most violent stage of the revolution is past us. Let us make sure that no other loyal servant of France becomes a victim of such hatred ever again. Alright. Well, isn't that interesting? Semeneur was a good loyal officer. Those bastards lynched him for observing the law. Will you join me at the march? What? Okay. What am I gonna want to do here? Oh man, I don't think I quite. So the king doesn't like that. But you know what? Can we exit out? No, we can't skip this. The crowd lynched, so this will probably turn the common folk on me. Let's see. My mentor in the law says I should go. Fuck. Well, you know, the description of the game did say you're gonna have to make a lot of tough choices. Let's go with yes. We ought to show that we oppose the self-appointed executioners and stand alongside victims.
I wonder why the king has taken the trouble to show up. King Louis the XVI marching arm in arm with the people of Paris? That is unexpected.
King Louis, hey, he's here. Continue, please. I am merely an observer. Do not change your habits for me. I heard a thing or two about a young and ambitious judge of the tribunal. I was curious whether he was guided by justice or by entertainment, as some would say. Alright. Okay, so I think we'll actually just stop it there. Oh, super chat, right though as I said that. Wrong French Revolution, but I must. Do you hear the people singing the song of angry men? Yeah, Louis seems to have lost his imperial title. What about that, huh? So, you know, that's interesting though that they called him Louis Capet because he was technically Bourbon, but the Bourbons were an offshoot of the Capetians, so I guess that would technically still be correct. Yes, the Capetian, the Bourbons. You just reread Les Mis. Les Mis is great. What translation do you use, by the way? Oh well. Anyway, so when am I going to stream again? I don't know what my schedule is like tomorrow, but the idea is that tomorrow I'm going to finish up that post-Tabaritsky Warlord thing, and then I'll probably do this in the evening. But once the Tabaritsky Warlord stuff is done, I'm taking a week off of live streaming, okay? It's just, oh god, it's an extremely, extremely busy week for me, though. So I was really glad with how many people showed up, though, for this this particular series, for this first episode. I hope that you all will stick around. I think it's going to be super duper fun, and it kind of seems like something that, even if you miss an episode, we should be able to have fun, like, you know, even on the individual cases and stuff. So, yeah. Tell others in other streams. Tell people, or tell people who aren't even subscribed to me. I think this is going to be fun. Oh, thank you, Valence Novikov. Yeah, exactly. I'm going to be taking that week off because I don't want to burn out. So obviously we're not going to finish this in like 2 or 3 days. From what I've looked up, it takes like at least a dozen hours to get through this game. There's plenty of content in it. But yeah, once again, thank you very much to oh god, I'm sorry, I keep forgetting the name. To Vicarious PR for providing me this game for free, and it's already seems pretty interesting. I think it's gonna be fun, and we're gonna talk lots of French Revolution whenever we're doing these streams. So get ready for that. We're gonna be reading some of Robespierre. We're gonna be reading people justifying guillotines. We're gonna be reading people saying who the good and the bad, the ugly are. The monarchists, the whites, the Montegars, the radicals, everybody. We're gonna be going at. We're gonna be attacking them, and we're gonna be supporting them, and we're gonna be talking about when did the French Revolution start? When did it end? Has it ended? You know, lot of fun stuff is gonna happen. Tyrannus Caesar says, "Don't kill the landlords." That sounds that sounds just like something a tyrant would say, and it sounds like you are anti-revolutionary. And I will see you in court, and then promptly afterwards at the guillotine. Anyway, thank you very much for joining me. I am conquering history games, and we're gonna conquer this one. I'll see you next time. Goodbye. Okay, now how do I save?